Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to a brand new Let's Play. Today we are starting Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past, on the 3DS. This game was originally released on Halloween of 2001 on the PlayStation 1 as Dragon Warrior 7. And it's actually the last game in the series to carry that name in the US. I actually thought it was Dragon Quest Monsters, or Dragon Warrior Monsters 2, but that actually came out in September of that same year, and which gives the honor of the last Dragon Warrior game being Dragon Warrior 7. In 2008, when we got 8, they had already switched back to the correct name of Dragon Quest. The 3DS remake, which I am again playing here, was released in Japan in February 2013, but we did not see this version of the game until so that would have been February 2013. We didn't get it until September of 2016. If you're wondering why it took so long to get this version of the game, that is because there's a few reasons. Well, 3DS support had started to slow down by that point. Dragon Quest games have always been kind of a question mark in the West. They're not as popular here as, Final Fantasy, even though they're incredibly popular in Japan. But most of all, I think it had to do with the fact that this game is a bit of a... It has a bit of a reputation for being a monster-sized game. And as an example, the How Long to Beat page on this has the PlayStation 1 version clocked in at an average beat time of over 100 hours. This version of the game is significantly shorter, but still very long. I would say this one clocks in anywhere about 65 to 75 hours, depending largely on you and how much you want to grind. So we're going to create a new adventure log. We're going to delete this. This is a failed recording attempt that I had day before yesterday. Basically, I don't want to talk about it. Let's just say Windows updates ruined my sound settings, and I went to actually cut the video up and put it on YouTube, and my voice didn't. Yeah, no. But anyway, back on topic. Dragon Quest VII is a very long game, and there's a lot of text in it, which probably had something to do with the fact that it took a very long time for them to localize it. They did tone down a lot of that in the remake, though, as there's significantly less party chat in this version of the game. And that's both a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it does get tiresome to sit there and do party talk sometimes, but it's a bad thing because you, yeah, of course we'll keep our mouth shut here, because you miss out on some of the character moments that are in the party talk. But, in Dragon Warrior 7, there's literally a party talk for every character in your party, for every NPC on the world, plus any major events that happens, plus just the area you're in, and it's just a monstrous amount of text. And I don't think anybody has ever seen all of the I think it's just impossible. I think I remember reading somewhere that there is actually a few untranslated lines of party talk in the PlayStation 1 version, just because they're so obscure and hard to get that they just missed them, because there are literally 10,000 lines of party talk or something stupid. Right, that is correct. So I am recording this on a streaming capture, so there is going to be frame drops. You're going to see hiccups and things like that. I hope that doesn't bother you too much. You can see the artifacting and stuff along the edges of the characters there. That is that's got to do with the manner in which they actually record this. And as far as I'm concerned, I work in an environment with a lot of computers, and the way that I understand that this works is basically black magic. Basically, and I could have this very, very wrong, but the way I understand that the streaming works on this is that they are basically taking JPEG pictures and streaming them to the. By the way, there's money up here. I don't know how you're expected to find this, but you know it's there. It's basically streaming JPEG pictures so fast that it's like, you know, you're getting 40 frames a second, and that's crazy. That's like crazy talk, man. Like, who, like, what would even like just the hacky things that people come up with when they want to do something? It always amuses me. But here we have Oster's parents, Pollock, and his mother, Pearl. Yes, Oster, into the attic with you. Out of sight, out of mind. So, let's see. We want to open this chest here. Get some money. Quite a bit of money, actually. They're pretty generous with money in this game. I'm going to equip this. No. I said equip. No one to talk to in the party in the moment. So we're just going to bed for the night. So, if you don't know anything about Dragon Quest VII, this game was originally built on the same kind of... It was an expanded version of the Dragon Quest VI engine. And this game uses a lot of the same systems as Dragon Quest VI, just expanded upon. So, in Dragon Quest VI, if you've never played it, they have... after a certain point in the game, you unlock all... I'm just going to use the new names. You lock All Trades Abbey, and in the Abbey, you can pick vocations. I almost called them jobs, but no, they're called vocations in the Dragon Quest world. Vocations are broken up into 3 tiers in the Dragon Quest VI. There is a basic one, which the basic ones lead into the advanced vocations, which is generally where you would stop in Dragon Quest VI, with the exception of there being one third tier vocation in that game, which is Hero, and there are 2 monster vocations, which are Liquid Metal Slime and Dragon. In this game, they greatly expand upon the monster vocations, and they expand a little bit upon the third tier vocations. So they have... in addition to Hero, they also have Champion and Druid. And then they also have a ton of monster vocations that... Yeah. Most of them are not good, but you can kind of cheat your way around. And they do give you enough monster hearts to kind of get what you want. It's pretty good. So this guy sells Pilchard Pie, which I think restores 10 to 15 hit points. They cost more than an herb. Yes, I do want to be a fisherman. Big and strong. They restore 10 to 15 hit points, I do believe, but only to the person who uses them. So, like, if you use them from a person's inventory, you can't give them to another... You can't, like, use it to heal another party member. It will always heal the person that's the inventory it's in. If it's in the bag, it always heals Oster. They're not really worth, you know... using. You're better off just buying herbs. Although they do give you a couple for free during the course of the game. Let's see. So, the controls for this game are pretty simple. The D-pad and control stick move you around. L and R buttons turn the map. If you push both L and R buttons at the same time, it snaps to the default position on the camera. The X button opens your menu. The Y button opens... the information on the town, so you can see like what's in the items. The B button is party talk, and A is interact. And that's pretty much it. Start and select don't do anything. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, classic Dragon Quest. we're going to... My plans for the vocations I'll get into when we actually get to the vocations, but I do plan on having somebody explore the monster vocation tree. That said, a lot of the monster vocations are not as good as the human vocations, but there are benefits to doing them. Who did you marry? Shopkeeper? Mayor Mayday. So, Mayday is actually Maribel's father, and as far as I know, she is the only. This is a kind of a spoiler, but like spoiler for like 10 minutes from now, like less than a few minutes from now. Maribel actually joins the party. She's one of your party members, and she is, I think, the only party member that's given a last name. I'll have to keep an eye out from that. But I don't even think Kiefer gets a last name known, unless his last name is like Estard, which is possible. Sometimes in like fantasy fiction they'll do that, where like the royal family, their last name is the name of the nation. So let's see, and we are done here. Oh, I gotta get, gotta explore this. I gotta explore the, Mayor's Manor here. Get the items from this. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. Maribel is okay. Maribel is actually okay in this version of the game. In the original Dragon Warrior version of the game, she is the absolute worst party member in absolutely every category. And the only thing she might have going for her is that depending on how much grinding you did, she might be further ahead in her vocations than the alternatives. 2 gold coins. So, back when... Before I started preparing, this is actually an attitude change that happened because I prepared Dragon Quest VIII, but I used to get mad at RPGs for giving, like, negligible amounts of gold or status curing items. Like, you know, I always kind of viewed it as a waste of a treasure chest, more or less. But, and I still kind of feel that way about, like, Final Fantasy IV. I think Final Fantasy IV is, like, the worst offender on that, where you'll just open a chest and it'll be, like, potion, antidote, you know, and they'll have a whole bunch of potions. But on the other hand, you know, that feels good to be picking items up like that, so that makes a little sense for them to do that. There's nobody at the end of the dock. But, we're going to put a pin in that sec, because I want to point out Pollock. I really like his design, because I wonder if they intentionally wanted to make him look like Hercules, like some kind of Greek hero. Like, he wears the toga, he's got the... He looks like a cartoony version of Hercules. And he's kind of implied over the course of the game to be this hero of another story. That's very interesting. Like, there's stuff going on in the background that Pollock is doing his own stuff. I do like that they animated him eating the sandwich. They didn't have to do that. And it's very amusing. Go swab the decks or something. The only game I can think of where they actually make you swab decks and like show you swabbing the decks, they might do it in, if I recall, did they do that in Grandia? But the game that immediately comes to mind is Tales of Destiny. In the intro, when you're on that dragon ship, and then they make you swab the decks. I want to say, I haven't actually ever beaten the original Grandia. I've played pretty far into it, but I haven't beaten it. But I do recall there being a mini game where they make you swab decks. But anyway, back to what I was saying earlier. Like small amounts of gold. When I was preparing Dragon Quest, VIII, I noticed like in the early game, like these small amounts of gold they actually add up to a non-trivial portion of the money you have for a budget. No, I don't. Because enemies at the start of Dragon Quest games only give a few gold anyway. So like you fight slimes and each slime gives 1 gold. So and you fight 2 or 3 slimes in a battle in the first area usually. So what that means is you're getting an average of 2 to 6 gold per battle. And here's an example in like the original Dragon Quest VIII. It's a lot better in the later versions because they give you extra money. But if you want to buy a boomerang, they're 420 gold. If you want to just sit there and grind until you have the money, that's a lot of slimes you have to kill. I always do like how they're like many people actually comment on how Oster looks nothing like his father. Alright, Chimera Wing. I'm not going to be using the Chimera Wings because they sell for money, but they are particularly useful in the PlayStation 1 version of the game because you have to do a ton of walking in that version, and it takes a lot longer to get anywhere. But to advance the plot here, we've got to talk to Maribel and bust her cover. So they have significantly shortened this intro sequence for the 3DS version compared to the PlayStation 1 version. They cut out huge like steps of things that you have to do, and they cut out several red herrings. So that is a thing. I need to get a new chair. This one is getting really squeaky. But hopefully it's not too loud. Me squeaking. Let's see, want to get out here. Want to equip this. Get that +2 attack power that it gives. It's not much attack power, but it is mine. It's better than my hands, I guess. Unfortunately, there is no fisticuff skill in this game. Oh, it's starting to get dark. Unfortunately, it's wintertime, and it's really, really, really nasty outside, like in terms of like weather. It's misting, cold, rain. There's a pretty good chance we're gonna see ice in the morning. But it's already dark and it's only 5:30. It's like, it's miserable. But this game is. Oh, I guess these guys all say the same things. Let's see. Oh, hey, a dog. Woof woof. This is a pretty well done game. Like, I don't like several of the design choices they make for them, mostly centered around like visually the way the main characters look. Like, for example, Oster doesn't have a neck, and that bothers me. I wish there was an option to later on when we get to Vocations not use the costumes for the vocations to just leave them in their normal clothes. Yeah, you can come, Maribel. It's cool.